What if I told you that leadership isn't about having all the answers, but surviving when the answers run dry? This is The Hard Thing About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz, a book that doesn't sugarcoat the journey of entrepreneurship, but reveals the blood, sweat, and mental grit it truly takes to build and save a company. Let's dive into this brutally honest, battle-hardened guide to leadership in its rawest form. Section 1. The Struggle. Ben Horowitz begins with something most business books avoid: the struggle. It's not a metaphor, it's the reality. It's the pit in your stomach when payroll's due and there's no money in the bank. It's the dread when investors pull out, your best engineer quits, and customers start leaving. Horowitz calls it the struggle, a time when founders are consumed with doubt, fear, and, often, silence. But here's the truth: if you're in the struggle, you're not alone. And, more importantly, you're not finished. Section 2. Wartime versus Peacetime, CEO. Next, Horowitz gives us one of the most powerful mental models in the book: the difference between a peacetime CEO and a wartime CEO. Peacetime is growth mode. You focus on strategy, culture, and expanding. But wartime? Wartime is survival. Everything is on fire. You make fast decisions, ruthless ones. You don't build consensus, you lead with certainty. And as a founder or CEO, your first challenge is this: know when you are in wartime, because leading like it's peace when the walls are closing in can sink your ship. Section 3. The loneliness of leadership. Leadership, Horowitz says, is lonely. You can't vent to employees. Investors want solutions, not feelings, and friends don't always understand. That's why managing your own psychology becomes priority number 1. You need to stay calm when no one else can. You need to believe when others doubt. You must accept the weight and still keep moving forward. As Horowitz says, by far the most difficult skill I learned as CEO was managing my own psychology. Section 4. Hiring the right people. When it comes to hiring, most leaders ask, who won't mess this up? But Horowitz flips the question: who can really nail this? Don't hire for lack of weakness, hire for strength. Find people who are exceptional at what matters most, even if they're flawed elsewhere. A startup isn't a government agency, it's a rocket ship. You don't need 10 average performers. You need a few astronauts who can get you to orbit. Section 5. Communication is everything. Here's something else most leaders underestimate: communication. Your team can't follow what they don't understand. And your silence? It's not interpreted as confidence, it's often read as fear. Horowitz urges leaders to be radically transparent. Share the bad news, be honest about the risks. When the team knows what's real, they rise to the occasion. When you hide the truth, they sense it anyway, and trust erodes. Section 6. Making the hardest calls. Now comes the part no one wants to talk about: letting people go, firing friends, laying off good workers. Horowitz doesn't romanticize it. He says, there are no silver linings, you just do it quickly and be honest. The longer you delay a hard decision, the more painful the outcome becomes for everyone. Great CEOs don't enjoy making these calls. They just understand that not making them is worse. Section 7. Culture is not perks. Let's talk about culture. Not ping pong tables, not free snacks. Real culture is what people do when you're not in the room. It's how decisions are made under pressure. And if you don't actively shape it, it will shape itself, and not always for the better. Culture is built through repetition, reinforcement, and, above all, example. What you do as a leader sets the tone for everything. Section 8. Adapt or die. Startups don't stay startups. They grow, they scale, they break. What worked with 10 people will fail with 100. Horowitz reminds us, There are no formulas for scaling, only principles. The key? Stay flexible. Stay humble. Build systems that evolve as your business grows. Or get left behind by your own creation. Section 9. Control the controllables. In chaos, focus on what you can control. You can't predict the market or your competitor's next move. But you can set high standards, communicate clearly, lead with integrity. Horowitz's advice here is grounding. Don't try to fix what you can't reach. Double down on what you can. Because in hard times, clarity and action are more valuable than perfection. Conclusion: a warrior's mindset. So, what's the hard thing about hard things? It's that there's no map. No silver bullet, no guaranteed win. Just hard decisions, sleepless nights, and relentless persistence. But that is exactly what makes the journey worth it. Horowitz doesn't promise ease. He promises that if you push through, if you fight like hell, your scars will become your strength. So, to the leader in the fire, the founder in the fog, the dreamer facing doubt, keep going. You're not doing it wrong, it's just hard. And that is the point.